I get that his legs are important, but none of it matters if he can't read defenses and deliver the ball accurately in tight windows and to open receivers both. And he can. That's the thing. That's why I kept bringing up Warren Sharp from Sharp Analytics. It opened my eyes. Last year, age 21, he was the most accurate passer in the history of the NFL. And even when you get away from just age 21 and compare him to rookies, more accurate than Andrew Luck, than Peyton Manning, than guys like that as a rookie. And they were older than him as a rookie. The passing, as much as the legs are what makes him extra different, the most important thing is the passing.
I disagree with you. I think it's his running, because I think the running sets up the passing. If it wasn't for his ability to run the football the way that he would, it would put more pressure on him to be a more accurate passer than he actually is. Some of those throws that he's been getting to get, you got to remember, when you're running the football effectively out of that backfield, you've got a guy that's so electrifying. They don't just have a spy on him sometimes. Sometimes they've got two. That's compromising your secondary excessive, in an excessive fashion. So we can't look at it and say, well, you know what? If you step back to pass and he wasn't a threat to run the football, that he would be looking at the same defenses, because he wasn't. He would not be, number one. Number two, they have the number one rushing attack in the entire National Football League. He's the leading rusher for the squad. He has 1,017 yards rushing with still 3 games to play. Number three, 147 first downs this year by the Ravens have come from running the football. They're averaging, as a rushing team, 5.5 yards per carry. So the threat of him running the football is what sets up everything. Yeah. And without that threat, he wouldn't be half the threat that he is as a quarterback. And that's why I believe the running is more pivotal than the passing when it comes specifically to him.
Context matters. And that's what Stephen A. laid out right there. I think it's definitely his legs. And Mina Kimes, who's here in the building today, her and I wrote a piece before the draft about Lamar Jackson. And we discovered from watching his film that he's a great passer, or at least he has the ability to be a great passer. He's not always accurate, but he stays in the pocket. He goes through his reads. And the criticism that we normally have of dual threat quarterbacks, he doesn't meet any of those. He's phenomenal, and has that ability. However, in the NFL, it's very different, and you nailed it. You talked about his first down stats. His first down stats are because people are trying to run the ball, or people are trying to stop the run on first down. I rewatched last night the entire Bills game. They were in pretty much zero coverage, which means you don't have a free safety on first and second down many times because they are selling out to stop the run. The big touchdown pass that he had to the tight end across the middle was because they were pressed up and they had no safety back there. So that allows him to be more effective in the pass. He struggled in that game when they forced him to throw the comebacks in that situation. So I think he is slightly above average as a passer, but he is well above average as a passer when he has that threat to run.
Look, obviously, if you take either ability away from a guy who can do a lot of things, it's a big blow to him and to the team, right? And if the question is, what is Lamar Jackson more special at? He's the most accurate 21-year-old, and now he's 22 in the history of football, or the running. He's more special at running than at passing. Right. We can all agree about that, though he's special at both. But do this thought experiment, okay? Because the question is not what's he most special at. Do this thought experiment. The Ravens are in a playoff game, and now you suddenly take one ability away from him. What is the ability that he will, as a quarterback, they still have Mark Ingram, they still have a defense, they have things they can do. If he's a quarterback, if he's merely a running back, you got a good running attack. Who's going to throw the ball?
That's your criteria. That's the way you judge it. I respect that. Here's my retort. When you talk about the ability to pass, like, for example, you think he's an exceptional passer. I do not. I think that he is having an exceptional season because of his ability to run the football, and that's opened up the floodgates, the ability to pass, because you got wide open receivers all over the place because of the zero coverage that you alluded to. I believe, and this is the way that I would say it to you, let's just say for the sake of argument that somehow, some way he's hobbled. He's good enough to go out on the field, but he's so compromised because of an ankle, because of a knee or whatever, that it is clear that he is not going to be running the football like that. Let's say, for example, he's a Drew Brees, he's an Eli Manning, he's a relatively stationary quarter. I don't want to go that route. I don't want to be too extreme with it. But I'm just saying, something that where it's clear that his ability to run is
even
impaired.
Lamar Jackson with no legs is better than Eli.
But I'm saying, but his ability to run is clearly impaired, and he's dropping back to pass to throw. I assure you, they're not remotely worried.
Hold on real quick. Let's flip that around.
Sure.
Okay? He can't really throw. So now they're stacking the box.
Okay.
And game over.
They're already stacking the box and they can't stop anyway.
Let
me point out this. It's not just that the offense is built around his ability to run, which we all would agree. The most important thing to that offense is his ability to run. That's what opens everything else. This entire team is structured around his ability to run. The defense is better because he has the ability to run. So it's not only more important to him, it's more important to the defense that he has the ability to run. That pass rush, or that offensive line neutralizes pass rushes. That's what grabbed my attention against the 49ers. Their great pass rush, I was watching those D linemen get off the line and then slow down and contain. His ability to run and scramble in those situations forces some defensive lines to not do what they do best. His ability to run forces defenses to play zone coverage and simple coverage. They can't do exotic blitzes. They can't do man under two, which is a popular third down coverage. They can't do any of that because Lamar Jackson's ability to run nullifies that. When you're game planning, if you're the Ravens offensive coordinator, you're game planning for the other opponent, there is a whole category, a whole half of the defensive play sheet that you don't have to worry about because Lamar Jackson can run.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.